This is it, Jacob. It all comes down to this. I almost wanted to say Game 6, last game, but this isn't the traditional format. 250 duos are competing today, and we are seeing the last match from a fan favorite, Mr. Savage, Mongrel, even Fredoxy Tripper here. The Titans are competing together to get as many series points as possible. Remember, on the series points leaderboard, the upper 50 will go to the upper bracket and the lower 200 will go to the lower bracket for the semifinals. So every single placement counts today.
So crucial. Give you a point breakdown momentarily, but as we tune into Fredoxy and Trip, they traded reses against their opponents and immediately are back on the offensive. Fredoxy's going to lead that push. Trip's just trying to get as much HP on up as possible before he joins the fray. But Fredoxy is doing such a good job of causing disruptions for this team, so they can't find a comfortable moment in this fight. But little do they know, they're so far behind on that HP and shield lead. They're making the perfect decision to disengage and put themselves in a better spot.
Remember, this is the last match, so if you get eliminated here, that's it. You don't get another opportunity for this first qualifier. All the points have to be secured in this last match here. As what a shot from Fredoxy. No scope needed on that Reaper sniper rifle to pick up a quick E11 and another one from Fredoxy. Are you kidding me?
That is two different teams on top of that, so it makes it a little bit easier for them to take him out as solos, but Clone's doing what he can. He's able to at least drop down Trip, but his teammate is still there to alleviate some of that pressure. But can they go ahead and end up on top overall? And just like so many teams in this finals today, 250 to be exact. I feel like this is one of the first times we're getting to graze Tayson and Veno, but a nice little no-scope there. Tayson's going to be able to back down after taking a crucial shot. Medallion doing its thing, getting his shield up 2 at a time. He just needs time to separate himself so he can get all the way up to 50 shields. Veno joins the fight, and there is the alleviation of pressure we were looking for.
Tayson jump scared by his opponent in the box. I mean, if he hit a headshot with a no scope, I would have lost it, Jacob. I would have lost it there. But luckily enough, neither player went down. Tayson was able to survive. The opponent was able to come off just with a little scratch on his shoulder. Probably a big scratch, seeing it came from a sniper rifle, but he's still up, still going in the facing fields, changing the medallion to make sure both players can recuperate enough shield without having to use minis or bigs. And hopefully it was a med kit as we go back to Resin now, the deal, who are in the zone and are feeling a lot more comfortable.
After seeing some of the names in this lobby, this is almost looking like a final style lobby with the superstars that we all know and come to familiarize ourselves with. A little bit of a slow rotation here on the south side, both the deal and Reason just being very, very conscientious of that mountain. Typically, because there's a launch pad up there, team will begin to make that their home base as Savage and Mongrel on top of Rift Island. And they're just pushing this team off. They already have one knock, and they're looking to solidify that one. Etsy on the other side, he's just trying to stave off getting eliminated himself, but they have their eyes set on this prize, and that's 2 more points. That's placement points, potentially, if they continue to dominate the lobby like this. The Savage gave me a little mini nervous attack right there momentarily. I thought everything was going to come crumbling down.
I was like, maybe grab onto the zip line, maybe do whatever you can, but he made a good use of the grapple blade there, barely securing a shot back on the builds. And I think he's thinking now, you know, maybe we don't need this elimination yet. We can take our time, maybe chop through some builds. Don't have to rush it. They know that their player is low, their opponent. They do have full shield, but HP wise, did I just hear his legs get broken? No, he's still up. Okay, thought I heard a sound there. That it didn't go his way as he dropped down, but it looks like the opponent's gone now.
It's like a very horrible situation to be in, especially looking down low. You see so many teams already fighting. Do I want to feel comfortable on top of Loot Island? Do I want to drop down low into this mess? Luckily, everybody was kind of distracted momentarily, so they didn't really make that a focal point. Sined lost Vanyak moments ago, but at least he got himself a good position next to a rift, which will allow him this rotation once the zone eventually moves away from Loot Island.
I like that play too. It's just scary sometimes because if there's enough duos looking up, when you hit that rift eventually to rotate, it could cause you to get shot out of the sky, but a lot of the times it should work out just fine. As Ripey, Kylie making their way through. Very nice pull, actually, for the 5th zone for them. Don't have to do much at all to get inside. Being on the uncongested side as well, there's not too many duos to worry about. My only concern, no eliminations. I wonder how much damage they've been doing throughout this match. Hopefully enough to be in this side of the zone. As they keep kind of looking around, I wonder if it's for players or for anything, really.
Yeah, and they have the luxury, like you were mentioning, the slow side of the zone. It is moving all the way towards the western side of the map. A little bit of a south lean on it as well, so as long as they're okay on Surge, not much to gather in terms of loot either. They got prime position in the zone for now, but from one team that has comfortability to a team that has already faced adversity in this match alone, let alone on the day. Trip and his duo just rotating past that yacht. There's a couple launch pads they can use, but if they don't want to make themselves a focus, they're just going to continue to rotate behind this team, maybe even use them as a distraction.
Gotta be careful, though. As you can see, the ramps have come out. I wonder if they've been seen. They have, but was it by that duo? No shots landed onto Trip or for Doxy, as they might be the ones who start hunting here. You can see pickaxing on in. They know there's opponents close by. It's Ricky, who's taking some shots off the Trip. Blocks the launch pad, though, for Doxy. Accidentally, he's going to take it, giving his opponent just a bit of time to breathe and take some shots onto him. Actually going to crack him for Doxy now. Half HP, but what a shot from the sniper rifle, putting his opponent to sleep. Ricky now left alone. What a way to go down.
If I don't see that one on social media, I don't know what you're doing for Doxy. You really stopped him with the grapple blade in his tracks after getting beamed. And typically, you know as well as I do, you would heal up in this position. But with the medallion, with his teammate there by his side, he had all the confidence in the world to go for a shot like that, and it pays off tenfold. And because Ricky escaped moments before, they know there's another solo ahead of them in towards the zone that they could potentially try to go after.
What a nasty shot for Doxy. Might have just turned this whole game around, honestly. This is also a little frightening, though. Luckily, there's not too many duos close by, but if they start landing some shots, all it takes is one snipe for Trip, and he's gone. But luckily enough, the bullets are not connecting from the opponents. As for Doxy lands, he takes a bit of damage, but nothing to be worried about. They have the medallion too, so they can trade back and forth to make sure they're both at least 50 shield. As we look back on over to Tayson, Venno. 3 limbs on the board, 2v1. Will they pursue it, though?
Just seeing Pleasant Piazza stacked with so many teams, and knowing that that's not even the zone, they got to continue to move towards the south portion of the map in this 50-50 zone over towards Snooty Steps. And if we continue to move there and we have like one of those moving zones towards the end game on that side of the map, it is going to get chaotic for a lot of these teams, especially if they're not familiar with that side of the map. Avino, like a hawk from above, drops down on one of his opponents, goes and tries to make it two along with Tayson. You got to imagine how confident they're feeling to make a play like that.
You can tell. I mean, being the last game, normally you see a lot of people get scared, make small mistakes like the one Lucia might have just made twice. But look, the good news, you got the grapple blade. Bad news, 64 HP, 62, clock's ticking, no med kits. Opponents now Yapko. Is he gonna open up? 34 HP left. That got a little sloppy.
I definitely did, and you could see why in a lot of the instances with the crash pads, they either edit the floor or they edit the wall to try to negate something like that from happening. Disaster could have simply struck if anybody lived towards the backside of zone, but for Lucia, that is a little bit of a blessing. But now they set their eyes on the Yapko. I think momentarily they might have spotted out as a solo. The shots continue to fire in that direction. couple other teams lending that helping hand, but it's forcing Yapko to just kind of displace himself, not allow him the comfortability to heal. And now that he finally does, it's forced in the zone during a 5-tick. I'm not sure how worth that actually was, but we'll soon find out.
I mean, lost 50 HP, gained 50 shield. I don't know if it's a trade I'd be taking every day, but good news is... Well, I was thinking of the good news. I mean, he's missing a duo. There's not a lot of good news here. He has to do a rotate. They know he's probably a solo. I guess the good news is the zone hasn't pulled to the opposite side of the map. Looking back to Cami Setty now. Polish Panthers, 326 above. Spare materials in the box as well. They're feeling good.
Yeah, just kind of taking a peek right now. Currently, before this game started, 264 points so far. 20 eliminations throughout 8 games, including 2 victory royales. One of them coming in their last matchup that they had just played, which ended off with 6 eliminations so far. So Setty and Cami primed to finish the day with a top position. And if you're looking at and you're asking what series points are, depending on where you finish in each of these 2 respective weeks, you get series points for your position. First place, a whopping 625, stretching all the way down to 255th place with a mere 25 points. So that's why it's so crucial to perform well in each and every one of these weeks.
65 is huge, especially seeing 2 points per elimination. It's difficult to get that VR placement pointage, especially being in round 4, where so many of the duos, it's the best of the best in the region. Taking a look at Venno, though. Quick replay of how he got a nice pick during the rotate, catching his enemies off guard. As now we take a nice view of how this zone could potentially play out. Venno with another one. Are you kidding me? 275 Reaper. And another one. Duo eliminated. Oof. Venno's looking dangerous right now.
I'm gonna ask you while we have a few seconds. What are his attachments? What attachments, if any, can make it to where you can make shots like that?
Venno doesn't need attachments. He is the attachment. You need to be Venno. That's the attachment you need to be hitting those shots. I want to see this again. Oh, the second snipe that we've seen in the middle of a grapple hook rotate. These players are ruthless.
Man, just threading the needle. Those close shots that really make a difference at the end of the day. Reason and Video taking note. 524 above. Nope, I'm not peeking that. Build a full box of medals. Not chances they want to take, and they are heating up. Venno and Tayson, arguably 2 of the best players in the region, and showing why. Threads the needle yet again through the builds. 110. It was a body shot, but it's still a massive body shot for someone like Venno.
Venno is not done. He is still cooking up these shots. Quick shot checking the bush as well, making sure nobody's close by. You can tell he's feeling something now. Flowberry rotate through Cami. Perfectly executed. Wow. Right ahead of the zone. So many elite players in this lobby. But you got to be careful. Open that wrong edit. Someone looking at you with the sniper, and it could be the end. As now they continue to find these shots.
Oh, not in that direction. You mentioned sniper. He looks directly at Venno and Tayson, but shots end up on the Mongrel. He's able to survive. Alleviated some of that pressure. Is going to be Mr. Savage, but Cami just relentless with this Thunderburst SMG. And you can see him. This is the moment. They want to try to take height, but there might have been another team on their left side that could contest them. They see it just as well as I do, so they disengage off that plan. But they did go ahead and increase their elevation against every other team in the lobby except for one.
Looks like they're almost second height. You said it yourself. They have the freedom to look above and make that decision. If it's something they want to take, as Vidil wants to take an elimination. Now, good amount of materials, consumables, looking healthy as the rotation continues on through, but be careful. Players close by. You don't want to get in a dangerous position, especially against a duo like Mongrel and Savage. Forced to use some floppers, some shields to recuperate what they've lost. But they're just getting started.
Yeah, they're gonna have to find some sort of a refresh. Mongrel's not in the most comfortable position when it comes to builds, and even expending more on the way there. Misha and Teeny coming back after that last game where they got taken down a little early for their liking, and they're making it look easy, moving their way through these builds. But Venno with the Flowberry Fizz steals high ground away from Marco and Firebro. Tayson lands a good shot, but it comes at a cost, a sacrifice of so much HP and shields, but they're successful in taking over this high ground late in the game.
I'm not sure if Venno has any med kits, but for Mongrel, that flopper might just be all he needs as he continues to apply that pressure, that aggression, as Vidil and Resin get more and more close to the high ground. They know Tayson's lit. Venno, though, almost full HP and shield, showing that confidence from above, saying, don't come to my high ground. I've already claimed it. Cami Setty as well, getting closer and closer to second height. Do they want it is the question. The pressure has to continue from above.
This is it. These are the moments right here with so much going on. Savage and Mongrel find their way in front of the zone yet again. But history repeats itself. Not finding a refresh when they need it. They are down on mats yet again. They know another team is behind them, but they're waiting for the perfect moment. They're actually sandwiched between two. 6 med kits on Cami and Setty. Win condition is clearly defined if they could just make it far enough, but there's a team on their back. Pressure from above. They're not going to let this one go easy as Savage and Mongrel find a huge flank onto Misha. Teeny's just trying to escape and keep their game alive.
One for Savage, but he's hungry for more. Continues to rotate along the edge of the zone, recuperated the materials that he needed. Tayson Venno up above, but they're missing the med kits that Cami has. Vidil and Resin, it's all legends up in this lobby, and they're not done cooking as now Resin gets taken out. Mongrel takes some shots, but Vidil is the one to connect the knock. Now, just 19 HP to work with. Lower and lower as the 1v1 versus Savage gets dropped down. Forced below. Setty now looking for the aggression, looking for the eliminations. Vidil gets taken out. Venno up above now alongside Tayson are forced to take action. They don't have med kits. They need to get elimination. Savage taken out. Venno now with 8. Just the 1v1. Can he connect the last shot? No, gets knocked, but his teammate up above Tayson now. Will he have enough time to outlive his opponent?
Where is his opponent? That's the Cami. I forgot about the 6 med kits. He found 3 more. And while I'm sitting here looking where this last player was, Cami's looking at the top of the mountain, taking that victory royale with ease. And even I called out their win condition, and they still pulled it off. Huge tail end of the day for Setty and Cami as they complete the back-to-back to end their day.
I was wondering, Cami had 6 med kits. Where did he go? Where was he lost? Venno and Tayson played it so well up above, aggressive, getting elim after elim, annihilating everybody that was close by. But that was the one player we lost. It was Cami with his 6 med kits, nice and cozy in his box, just healing and secured that victory royale.
Yeah, they even got their 4 eliminations late in the game, typically where they begin to shine the most. And when this game started, Takata, they were in 14th place. I broke down their stats, 264 points with 2 VRs. They've just earned themselves the 3rd. This could be a 3rd straight year of dominance from Setty and Cami.
I loved it. I love this new format. I mean, personally, the action was non-stop. Pure legends in the last match. It was absolutely incredible. But that's it for me and Jacob breaking down the games. We're gonna head right back to my 3 favorite people, Adam, Levin, and Minnie.